Hi, Jenny. Hi, Sheila. You guys are muted. Hi, Trina. You guys are muted, so if you want to talk, just unmute yourself. Hi. Hi, Carrie. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, hi, it's Jenny.
Oh, hi. All right, so I basically muted everybody. So if you want to talk, just unmute yourself. I just didn't want to have a lot of like background noise. So just look for your little microphone icon and just.
Hi, Erin. Hi, Otis.
Hi.
Now I'll mute myself.
Okay, cool. Now Sheila, you're like front and center in the screen, which I love, but now I don't see myself anymore. Not that I need to see myself.
You can't see us. That's me, Dee Outman. We're not showing up, but we're here.
Yeah, you probably just have your video muted.
I have no idea what I'm doing, so I'm lucky I see you at all.
Hi, Trina.
Hi.
Well,
I can hear everybody.
oh, you can? Well, oh, there you are, Jenny.
I think Erin,
Hi, Anna.
whoever talks is the face that shows up.
Oh, see, we need Trina here.
No, but you can't. Today I could keep
Oh, you can do like a gallery view
it
or
up on the
something?
top. I think you
Yeah,
can.
there's a way to adjust it.
Yeah, you just
Yeah.
go, try just clicking everything.
Yeah,
Manage participants. There's probably like.
yeah, there's speaker view, and then there's gallery view. That's in the upper right.
Gallery view. There we go. Oh, and speaker view.
And then
Oh, I see.
yeah.
Trina's still in the middle.
Okay, don't mind me.
Now you're there. Now you're there, and everybody we are up here.
Okay. I don't see myself. Hi, Jim. Hi, Shakti. Y'all. Hi, Joanna.
Hi, how are you?
Hi, Joanna Beasley. You guys are all muted unless you unmute yourself.
I unmuted, but I think I'm good. Do you hear me?
I hear somebody.
Okay, that must be me. Okay.
Erin, if you want to record it, I don't know if you're sending people replay, make sure you hit the record button.
Yep, it is automatically recording.
Oh, okay.
Because that was a setting I did before. So now I'm going to switch to speaker view. Let's see what happens. Uh-oh. So how do I just have it be me, show small active speaker video? Hi. Can y'all see me? I can see all different people.
I think,
You're
yeah.
big now.
Now it says mute.
Yeah, I think we might have to mute our audio.
Yeah. So you were set up to be muted, but you can mute yourself now. If you want to talk, just unmute and then remute. But for me, I'm just seeing whoever is talking, but I'm going to be the one talking, so I guess that will be fine. I know that I'm seeing the gallery view and the speaker.
Oh, there we are.
Hello, Uncle Ty and Mama C.
Hi.
Like a beautiful party.
Hi, Odie.
This is just very heartwarming in this very newly isolated
They can hear you.
time. So I'm just so happy to have you all. Otis and I are also going to be doing kids yoga and movement. I don't know if it's called yoga, whatever it's going to be. We're going to be doing movement for kids. Probably not at this very moment, although kids of all ages. Kids come in all ages, as we know. But stay tuned for that. I think there's going to be a lot of kids people looking for alternatives to screen time. And, when I was a kid, it was just our mothers just said, you have to go outside and I'm going to like lock the door and you can't come back until dark. It's not really that way anymore in this day and age. All right, so I'm going to, I guess, just keep it this way. What if I click on exit full screen? What happens then? Nothing. Okay. And speaker view. Hello, Mama C. You're like front and center.
Am I?
Yeah, I don't know how to.
Can you hear me?
I can. I'm just not really sure. Whatever. It doesn't really matter.
Okay.
So I'm actually going to start this class with a little reading. Just wave if you and unmute yourself to talk, but also like if you're trying to say something and I'm not hearing you or paying attention, just flag me down. But I'd like to do a little reading. And this is from one of I love all of Pema Chodron's books. I've been reading out of these for years. Can you move over just a little bit, honey? Well, actually, you can sit in my lap for this part. And I'm going to read an excerpt. So just make yourself comfortable. Have a seat or lie down or jump around as long as you're on mute. And this is a reading about learning to stay, but just to give you the definition of an important word, bodhicitta, which means awakened heart or awakened enlightened mind, or also it's translated as
For Christmas, I started reading last.
let's find it. And Mama C, just mute yourself, would you?
Okay.
Okay. Here, I'll give you a better. So chitta means mind and also heart or attitude. Bodhi means awake, enlightened, or completely open. So Pema Chodron is a Tibetan Buddhist nun. I've always really loved her teachings. So this is an excerpt from a chapter called Learning to Stay. As a species, we should never underestimate our low tolerance for discomfort. To be encouraged to stay with vulnerability is news that we can use. And she's talking about sitting meditation, but I would extend this to be any kind of meditation, including moving meditation. Sitting meditation is our support for learning how to do this. Meditation, known as mindfulness awareness practice, is the foundation of bodhicitta training. It cultivates loving kindness and compassion, the relative qualities of bodhicitta, gives way for us to move closer to our thoughts and emotions and get in touch with our bodies. It is a method of cultivating unconditional friendliness toward ourselves and for parting the curtain of indifference that distances us from the suffering of others. It is our vehicle for learning to be a truly loving person. Gradually, we begin to notice that there are gaps in our internal dialogue. In the midst of continually talking to ourselves, we experience a pause as if awakening from a dream. We recognize our capacity to relax with the clarity, the space, the open-ended awareness that already exists in our minds, experiencing moments of being right here that feel simple, direct, and uncluttered. I'm going to jump around a little bit. It is helpful to understand that this is not just about this meditation, or any form of it is not just about feeling good. To think that this is why we meditate is to set ourselves up for failure. We'll assume we are doing it wrong almost every time when we sit down. Even the most settled meditator experiences psychological and physical pain. Meditation takes us just as we are, with our confusion and our sanity. This complete acceptance of ourselves as we are is called Maitri, or compassion, simple, direct relationship. It's also, Maitri is translated also as unconditional friendliness. Direct relationship with the way things are. Skipping around a little bit. In meditation, and I would add in times of great uncertainty, as is going on now, we discover our inherent restlessness. Sometimes we get up and leave, sometimes we sit there, but our bodies wiggle and squirm and our minds go far away. This can be so uncomfortable that we feel it's impossible to stay. Yet this feeling can teach us not just about ourselves, but also about what it is to be human. The pith instruction is stay, stay, just stay. I had this great little comic cartoon on my door of my studio for years. I don't know where it went, but it was a little comic of a dog, and like a trainer was standing there and saying, you know, the pith instruction of meditation is just to stay. I forget what the actual, it didn't actually say that exactly, but it was the cutest little comic strip. Learning to stay with ourselves in meditation is like training a dog. There you go. If we train a dog punitively, we'll end up with an obedient but very inflexible and rather terrified dog. By contrast, training with kindness results in someone who is flexible and confident, who doesn't become upset when situations are unpredictable and insecure. So I'll put this down for now. Let's do some movement. I'd like to know if anyone wants to share how you're feeling physically right now. Like, do you feel like sluggish and low, or jazzed up and kind of have excess jittery energy? I'm just curious if anyone wants to share. I go on the jittery end of the spectrum usually. I've never been a sluggish, low kind of person. Maybe you can tell that.
I'm a little tired, but I need a pick-me-up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so hopefully this will try to do it all for
Well,
everyone.
just seeing your face picks me up.
I totally agree. I'm so delighted to see everybody. So let's do one of my favorite breathing exercises. That's actually, originally I found out about it through Kripalu yoga. It's called Breath of Joy. And it's like a 3-part, we're gonna stand, but it's like a 3-part inhale, like a sniffing through your nose. And then the exhale is a big ha, and you can actually forward fold, you can slap the floor, you can shake it out. I love this breath because it's really about mobilizing energy. So I think this can be energizing and also calming. Best of all worlds. And hopefully you can hear me. I'm just using my computer mic. So I'll just demonstrate it first. It's just like in your arms, it kind of has a bounce to it. So it's like an inhale, arms up, inhale, arms out, inhale, arms up, and then it's a ha, exhale. And I like to be loud and ha, like karate, and just hit the floor. I'll move my screen a little bit. So I do it like this. I do inhale, I'm talking inhale, inhale, exhale. And you can stay down in your exhale and don't come up really fast, especially if you feel like dizzy or low blood pressure. So and it makes you smile. We'll do 2 more. Last one, and then we're gonna stay down. And then, so we just did Breath of Joy, Tatiana, hi. So we're just gonna stay here for a little while and just do some shaking, bouncing. I like to do relaxed arm twists so that I just let my hands smack against the back, which is actually good for your kidneys. Let your head and eyes come with you so that you're scanning. Unless that makes you dizzy, at which point you would want to close your eyes. And then let's just do a little bit of self-massage, what I just call scrubbing. So we're just gonna scrub our hands, scrub our arms, shoulders, our neck, our other arm, across the chest. You want to do it with me? Hi, stay. You can stay. You want to stay? Okay, well, you can stay if you want, honey. You can stay and just do this. Well, just stay if you want. And then down your legs. I like to pay a little extra attention. Okay, I love you. Okay. On your knees. Lower back. That can be a place we don't have that much sensation. And then just a little bouncing too. And that can be a jumping or it could just be a gentle bouncing. Okay. And then we can do, I usually like to do this with kettlebells or weights, but we'll do it with our imaginary weights. We're just going to go back to that twisting movement we were doing, but then we'll lift up and come down and lift up the arms and come down and lift up. And then we're going to come up and go around the head one way, around the head the other way, and come down and go to the other side, around the head, and come down one more to each side. I'm pretending I'm holding some little weights. Around and come down. And then I like to, especially if you're on a slippery floor, I like to do, well, you know, if you see me on Instagram, how much I like to do chubby checker twists. And you can certainly come down as much as your knees allow. If you're able to come down and get one knee down onto the floor, you can, but just come down as much as is comfortable. And then just keep this going and play with your arms. We like to do a lot of disco moves in my classes. But you could also just do maybe your arms out like this or swinging arms. Just kind of play a little bit with your twisty legs and your dancing arms. And maybe you include your head and neck so that you're looking over one shoulder and then the other. All right, and then the last. I make weird noises, so feel free to go. I can't hear you, you're on mute. And I like to even go. Horse lips. Or just sighing can feel really good. And then we're going to come down. Let's do the corkscrew because that's my favorite thing. So we're going to take our hands down to the ground, pivot the legs, pivot the torso, lower body, get the hips down. Can you all see me on the floor? So you went down, and then you can try to reverse that and come back up. Optional, jump at the top, hands down, swivel, come down, hands down and reverse, and come up. And your hands could land further out in front of you if your knees aren't happy with that, or your hips, or ankles. And so just going back and forth a few times. And the next time you're down, we'll stay down. And you can either sit or kneel or sit on a, look, I have an actual tuffet. I always make cushions out of my blankets and call them tuffets. They actually have a poof, but you could kneel, doesn't have to be, or sit on a block. All right, so let's do a little breathing stuff. So we're gonna just kind of massage our ribs, belly. And then we're simply gonna lean to one side and continue to massage that side, those ribs, And you can keep your hand there and let your head tip to that side and bring your awareness into the sensation of the hand. You can allow your eyes to close and expand and highlight it in your awareness that contact between your hand and the ribs and expand into that side laterally, as if this one lung is the one receiving all of the expansion. You can then let your arm just drape around your head and rest on there. And you can stay with that, or you can also add in a little bit of thoracic twist where you take your top arm and you thread it under, sort of under the bottom, and twist toward the floor, chest toward the floor as you breathe out, and twist open toward the ceiling as you breathe in with your head and eyes looking up as well. Breathing out to twist to close, breathing in to open, and continuing to feel that rib cage. And then you can just end by draping the arm around your head again. Take one more moment, just feeling that lung, those ribs, this side. Letting the breath pass in and out through the nose. And then just coming up to center and going to the other side. Spend a little time bringing your awareness with some massage of that side and the ribs. And then keep the hand there and breathe into that contact point with your head heavy. Your eyes can close. Feel the breath, cooler temperature air entering the nose and the warmer air exiting. And then you can bring the arm to drape over the head. Maybe you even reach with the arm and the fingers to feel the long lengthening, the whole side part of your body expanding, taking a couple of breaths here. And then you can add in the threading where you're exhaling to face the chest toward the floor and inhaling to face up toward the ceiling, looking up, going at the pace, your own pace with your breath, letting your pace guide you. And then just having that arm drape over the head again with your head heavy, and taking a couple of more breaths here, visualizing that lung just ballooning out to the side and expanding fully. And then you can come up to center. So next time we do this, I will prepare you with blocks, but I just want to show you what I like to do for one of the breathing things I like to do that I kind of came up with recently, which is to tuck the blocks right on my sides of my ribs, and it helps me to keep the shoulders down and just kind of have a nice little support. Oh, I'm super impressed that y'all, some of you have blocks. And Lydia, you can use your chair arms. If you're sitting in a chair with arms, that can be another way to anchor the arms down, feel something contacting them, and help you not breathe into the upper accessory muscles and feel the lateral expansion of the ribs. And I just find this kind of comforting. The pressure, I kind of squeeze it a little bit, and then I try to relax my arms, hands, and then I feel the lateral expansion into the ribs. So I feel them kind of squeezing in on the inhale, Moving out to the sides on the, did I say that backwards? Inhale out to the sides and exhale, squeezing in. And sometimes it's nice too to do it in the front and back. You kind of have to do a funny thing with the back arm to get it on there. You could actually do this on your own time by putting the block up against the wall too, or partner, Jenny and Anna, you can actually sit back to back. That can be nice. And you can feel yourself, you're slightly different heights. You can feel it's really nice to partner, just sit back to back with somebody and really feel the expansion and heartbeat of each other. That can be a very co-regulating, calming way. And it doesn't have to be blocks. It could be pillows or small cats, maybe. Very friendly cats. I have a very friendly cat who's also extremely feral and wild, and we go months without seeing him, and then all of a sudden he's back, and I think he has many homes, actually. He must. All right, so let's come to sit, and just sitting, and you can do this in the chair, Lydia, too, but we're just gonna windshield wipe with wide feet, just windshield wipe our knees. So the wider they are, and the more upright you are, the more you lean back, the more your lower back moves with you, the less intensity you're gonna feel right in the hip capsule. So you can control the intensity. If you're more upright and you're not leaning back as much, you're gonna feel more sensation right inside the hip. And then if you're on a slippery floor, or even, I'm on a rug with socks, but even on a rug with socks, I have a little bit of slippery factor. So, you know me, I like to slide. So I've dropped my knees to one side so that one leg is internally rotated. And I'm just gonna do some circles from there. And you can just go a few times in each direction. And you can also do figure eights. And you could just do forward and back and side to side. And then we'll just go to the other side. Again, more upright would be more intense. And you can do some circles. And or figure eights. All right. And then with the legs seated wide apart, you could just let yourself, legs can be quite wide. And that just allow your both hips to go to one side. So you're windshield wiping again, but just with a bigger position here. Just a little different. And then in this position, you can practice some tandem or opposing circles of the legs in both directions. And they could go, let's see, tandem, I don't know what this is. Something fancy. It's kind of a staggered matching circle, all right? And then just kind of shake the legs out, do a little, I have a soft fist, kind of an open fist. I'm gonna go down, pat down the outside of the legs and up the inside. Down and up. Right, and then I'm just gonna sit either on the floor or the chair and stick one leg across in figure four and give myself a little foot massage. You know, my socks are really hot. I have like very woolen socks on. All right, so if you want to take off your sock and do this, feel free to. What you can try is my palm is facing my sole of my foot, and I'm gonna get closer. And I'm gonna thread my fingers through the toes, shaking hands with your foot. And then from there, you can do some bending forward and back. You can hang your ankle off and do some circles. You can twist, grab the lower foot and sort of twist in opposite directions, like the toes would twist in one direction, kind of holding the base of the foot and going the other. And then you can grab each metatarsal, and I'm going to kind of glide forward and back apart from each other. So I'm gripping fairly hard and I'm just going forward and back to try to make space between the bones of the foot, the metatarsals. And then just feel free to use your thumbs and get a little massage in to the medial arch here. I like to also pinch or squeeze the outside of the foot. That feels really good. Sometimes you can just do it between your knuckles. You can individual toe circle. And in a time like this, when things feel so unsettled and ungrounded, this can be just literally a really good way to ground yourself. Bring sensation to your feet. And if it's not warm enough to walk outside barefoot, or you don't like to do that, self-massage of your feet is really helpful for that. And even try some just tapping, even just tapotement, little percussive stuff, raking on the front of the foot, going across the top of the foot. I'm just kind of raking across. And then I'm just going to do some shaking. All right. And a lot of times I have people walk around, feel their feet, then do some massage, and then walk again. And we use balls a lot in our classes, as some of you know. And then that helps you really notice how much more sensation and contact you feel with the ground after you do a little massage. So you can go to the other leg and just say, hello, foot. Thank you for being here. You can thread in and shake hands with your foot. Bend the toes forward and back. Do your twisting movements. Do your hang the foot off. Some of y'all, I can't see your faces, but I see names. Hi, Madison. Hi, Robin Templeton. People are coming and going. And y'all are on mute unless you unmute to talk, and then, yeah, so just, and then some of you, I can't, your video is set so that I can't see it either, but I see you virtually. All right, so then you can try your metatarsal glides. You're just grabbing each metatarsal or one right next to each other and kind of pushing and pulling them in opposing movements. There you are, Robin Templeton. Hi. And then some individual toe circles. Some thumb or finger massage here in your arches and squeezing the sides of the foot. And raking across the top of the foot. And any kind of tapping or percussive stuff. And then shaking it out. And then we'll just continue with a little foot stuff. So we will do some circles of our ankles. So let's try pointing our toes down and making big, slow circles. We're getting a little crampy there. Sometimes this can make your feet cramp a little bit, so just ease off the pointing plantar flexion. I just did a Pilates class, Trina, today with a friend who's studying for her test. So my feet are like, because we had to do pointing over the bars. All right, and then try, so do your both directions of pointed. I love Pilates though. And then flexed toe circles. And then this is a foot wave or a ripple. So face this way. So we're gonna point the toes, point the ankle, flex the toes, flex the ankle. I'm trying to figure out how I can point the toes, point the ankle, flex the toes, flex the ankle, point, point, flex, flex, and then flow it together a little bit. You could, for extra credit, try to do your hand at the same time. Ooh, that's a coordination challenge. And then we go the other way. So we point the ankle, point the toes, and keep the toes pointed as you flex the ankle. Flex the toes, point the ankle, point the toes, flex the ankle. So it looks like, I don't know, whatever this is. So it's like a foot wave, ripple, undulating thing. All right, so we'll go to the other one. So we'll point the toes, point the ankle, flex the toes. Point the ankle, point the toes, flex the ankle, flex the toes. Point, point, flex, flex, point, point, flex, flex. And then you can try to go a little smoother. Optionally, do it with your hand. And then we'll point the toes, point the ankle, flex the toes, flex the ankle, point, point, flex, flex, point, point, flex, flex. And then do that a little faster so that you're getting the ripple. I am not so good at this on the left side. Okay, let's shake it out. And let's either stay seated or kneeling and have the arms out in front of us a little wider than shoulders and draw the shoulder blades forward and back, forward and back, up and down, and then circles with your elbows locked out so that you're getting this concentrated movement into the shoulder blades. Changing direction. All right, and then we're just gonna squeeze the shoulders up to the ears, tighten everything. We're gonna breathe in. We're gonna let it out with a sigh. So we're gonna breathe in, clench and tighten everything. Maybe even clench your jaw. Breathe in, hold it, and then just let it out. And then again, kneeling or half kneeling or standing or seated, we're gonna do a little half teacup. So we're gonna hold our teacup, we're gonna roll shoulder rolls internally and then externally. Just here at the bottom, internal, external, internal, external, and then at the top, in and out, in and out. And then we'll do the whole thing. We'll go in at the bottom, come up, we'll go around our head, out at the top, in at the bottom, out at the top. Now you could do this without moving your body very much, or you could play with moving your whole body around with it. You could do it without looking at your hand, or you could try looking at your hand while you're doing it. I don't want you to feel dizzy. So just listen to what works for you. I often like to do this with all kinds of other movement, and it could be standing or kneeling. All right, let's switch direction. So we'll go out at the bottom, come up, in at the top, come down, rotate out at the bottom, in at the top, out, and in, and then just move maybe a little bit more with your body. You could try your looking at the hand as you do it. I really love to do this with weights, so just like a little dumbbell or whatever size you're able to maneuver. And then let's just give that whole arm a shake out. The hand, the wrist, and the whole arm. All right. Other arm, so we'll just go in at the bottom, out at the top, or sorry, we're still at the bottom, in and out, just here. And then we'll come up here and go in and out. And so we're just kind of breaking it down. And then we'll go all the way. So we'll start at the bottom, we'll go in at the bottom, come up, out at the top, in at the bottom, out at the top. And you can bring more movement into it if you want, or you can be still, or you can kind of play with different variations of that, looking at the hand or not. Try it with the eyes closed. That can be really fun just to remove the visual component so that you're getting kind of all proprioception. And then we'll change direction. We'll go out at the bottom and rotate the shoulder in at the top. Out and in. Moving your whole body as much as you like. All right, and then we'll try double teacups. Getting ready. All right, so we're gonna go in at the bottom, out, still at the bottom, in and out. Now we're probably gonna drop our T, and that's okay. Or you can imagine that you have super glued T. So in and out, and then at the top, in and out, in and out. When you do this, they are going to have to cross. So they're going to go both in at the bottom. They're going to come up and they're going to have to cross each other to come out at the top. They'll cross each other to go in at the bottom. They'll cross up at the top. They'll cross. Essentially, you're doing 2 figure eights. And it really doesn't matter if you quote unquote screw it up, because I'm sure you're doing more movement than you've been doing all day for your shoulders. I think that might be the case. And then we'll go out at the top, come up, and we'll go in at the, I said that wrong, out at the bottom and in at the top. For those of you who feel like standing while you're doing this, you can certainly stand. Maybe you bend your knees and you just kind of see where you go with it. You can kind of use it as a moving meditation. If you feel too confused by the 2 sides, maybe you bring it back to just one arm. There's no rules here. I just want you to kind of, now I'm going to try tandem as opposed to opposing. I just kind of want you to play with this theme of the teacups. Kind of has a qigong flavor to it. And if you're going in one direction, you want to try to go in the other. This is something you can definitely do seated in a chair. And it can be fun to try doing it with your eyes closed. So you just tune in to the sensation. All right, and then let's just do, I guess this is like we're at a concert. I don't know, maybe a religious revival. And then just some side bends that you could do standing, kneeling, seated, chair, and just let yourself, your head, Just drop to the side and be heavy. Maybe you even kind of land down on the ground with a little thud. And just try shaking out. And then have your arms out to the sides. And imagine that someone is pulling you by your wrist, from one wrist to the other. So you're gliding your upper thoracic spine. You could also just have your hands right here on the ribs to feel that. And then you can try coming forward and back so that you feel like you're moving your heart and lungs. That can be hard to access, but then once you bring your arms back out, you can try circling. And if you're seated or kneeling, that can help immobilize the lower hips so that you can try to find that more motion or movement in the upper thoracic spine. And you can change direction. So sometimes it's helpful to have your arms out. Sometimes it's helpful to have your arms here. All right. And let's come up to standing and do my favorite lumbar circles. So you can either swivel up or squat up or get up somehow and have a wide stance. And then you're going to actually tilt your tailbone forward so that you're accessing the lumbar spine. We can bend our right knee and let ourselves lean to the right with our arms dangling and let the head be heavy. And we're going to come through the center. When we get to the other leg, we'll change legs. So we're bending the left knee now, coming to the side. And then I'm going to put my hands in front of my chest to do the back bend portion. I'm going to try to keep my pelvis forward the whole time. And then I go back to bent right knee. So I'm going to circle all the way around, taking the hands to the chest optionally. So I have one knee bent at a time. And I'm just thinking, massaging with movement, the lumbar lower back, the lumbar spine. Just keep the breath passing through the nose. And then we'll switch direction. And then we'll just shake it out, come into a wide stance, and kind of push your knees slightly or legs slightly apart with the hands. The hands can kind of be on the front and sides or insides. And then we're gonna bring one shoulder forward, like a upper thoracic twist. Look over the top shoulder, take a breath. And then go to the other and keep doing that back and forth with a breath. I have short arms. I think so my arm is straight. I think you get more leverage. So if you have longer arms, you may need your hand further down the leg to get that twist. All right, and then we're gonna just take the hands down to the ground and we can walk the hands forward and come down to the knees. And you can do this seated in your chair too, just a little bit of cat-cow. So sometimes what I like to do is first get the hips circling. few times in each direction, and then try to do that at the same time as cat cow. So surrounding and arching. You know, just take a little time to play with your spine. No hard rules. Just maybe you start with just rounding and arching. Then maybe you start with just rounding it, or maybe you come to just moving the lower back, just moving the head, circling the hips, and then just kind of play with moving around in different experimental ways. You can maybe rock forward and back. You can use the chair if you're sitting to use the sides of the chair to help you kind of leverage yourself, but just spend a little time going inside. Maybe you close your eyes and just kind of grateful for the spine and the movement of the spine. Just kind of play and move around in a little moving meditation. If you're able to slide your hands, you can also slide your hands to one side and then the other. Maybe slide in circles. Maybe slide rounding back and arching forward, or rounding forward and arching back. And again, just kind of play. I'm more suggesting a theme than giving you exact things to do. And if you're in a place where you can come to your tummy, I love to do air swimming or floor swimming. So you can do kind of slidey strokes on the floor, or have the arms go through the air, maybe tandem, maybe alternating. Maybe your legs are up, maybe they're down. And just kind of play. See if you can include your head moving from side to side. And then we can just come to our forearms and take one knee and bend it and lift up that leg and drop it back to twist to the opposite side floor and back in, back and forth. So I'm just bending, lifting up and tapping down. Lydia, you're gonna have to invent a chair version of this and let me know. And then you can come to one side of that and then try lifting up onto your hand, coming back to your forearm and back to your tummy. So bend the knee, tap it over, come up to your hand off the elbow and back down. Just kind of play with that. Little half roll, little somatics. You can even bring your arm up, or when you're on, say, your right hand, you could come up to your hand and follow your left arm open, bring it back, go to the other side, follow your right arm open. All right. And then we'll stay here on the forearms or seated in a chair if you want to be, or in any other position, just to do some neck stuff. So we're just gonna let our head tilt forward and back. Turn side to side. Tip side to side. and then circle. So you can tilt to one side, swivel to look down, circle across the chest, tilt to the other side, swivel to look up, circle across the back, and just do 2 more. And then reverse direction, 3 total. And then we're just going to take and lie down and put our hands, or you can do it, Lydia, just take your hands to your forehead and just rest your head, forehead on the hands. And just tune in to the feeling of the breath in the back of the body. Feel the contact between your front of your body and the ground, and feel the expansion of the breath in the back of the body. Feel the contact between the forehead and the hands or the ground. You can also just turn your head to the side and have your arms down by your sides alternatively. And remember, the lungs are very large and we kind of forget about the whole dimension of the back of the body. So feel particularly the back of the lungs expanding. Just breathing in gratitude for this breath. You can really slow down the exhalation, or allow the exhalation to last longer, and also extend the exhalation so that you're breathing out and maybe even feel like you're pushing out or almost wheezing at the end. Breathing everything out, feeling a little pull on the diaphragm, feeling a little sensation of stretch there, and then breathing in when you need to, holding it for a little bit, breathing in through the nose. Breathing everything out for an extra long time until you feel some sensation in the diaphragm, and breathing in through the nose. And then if you haven't already, just bring the arms down by your sides, palms up, wiggle the shoulders down away from the ears, and just have the head turned to the side. So you're still lying down on your belly, but you just have your head turned to the side so that you might feel a little bit of neck stretch. And you have your arms down by your sides. And your shoulders feel heavy and your arms feel heavy. And you're still tuning into the feeling of breath in the back of the body. Feeling it in the soles of the feet, in the backs of the calves and the hamstrings and hips, and the lower back. And the mid back, upper back. Feel free to turn your head whenever you want to the other side. Feel that gentle neck stretch. And let's try some humming exhalations. If you'd be more comfortable on your back, feel free to do that, or you can stay on your belly. And we'll breathe in through the nose and breathe out as a humming sound, letting that humming last as long as you can. So you're breathing in and we'll do 3, so we'll do 2 more, and just feel the vibration in the throat, the abdomen, the chest, the resonance in your body. And then we're going to do a final, we're going to do a little mudra, a little hand position for our final relaxation. So you can either come onto your back, or you can come to seated. We're going to do prana mudra, which is actually for the root chakra energetically. This is for stability, and it's also for the lungs. I actually have I really quite like this book of mudras. I've been using this one for years. So you can see what it is, and then you could come down to lie down if you like. So we take our last two fingers and touch them to the thumb on both hands. And for extra sort of emphasis, you can press the fingernails into the thumb a little bit, so you're feeling extra. And you can have the palms up with the other two fingers extended, and this is called prana or pran mudra, life mudra. Mudra is just a finger position or a seal, a sacred seal. And from the book here, it says this is to activate the root chakra, which is the elemental force of a human being. I like to compare this place with a fire that is either ablaze or just glowing quietly. How brightly the fire burns depends on how well we tend to it. So this finger position stimulates the nourishing energy of the pelvic floor. The root chakra is really about elemental stability, and so this is such an unnerving time. I feel like this is a key one, and this is also for lungs. Prana mudra. She says, has the effect of causing both right and left brain hemispheres to function equally, become active, mutually complement each other, important for holistic health, increases vitality, reduces fatigue and nervousness, improves vision. There's a lot of claims here, but gives us the courage to start something new. Anyway, so you can keep this for a little while, lying down or seated. Just get comfortable, hold this mudra, and there is a visualization to go with this, which is that you can visualize either yourself as a tree or a tree in front of you. And while inhaling, you can visualize energy flowing down into the roots, and the rootstock becoming thicker and more extensive. And then as you inhale, feeling the energy travel up into the crown, far beyond the tree, into the sky, toward the sun. Visualizing that the larger the rootstock becomes, the larger the crown of the tree becomes. And just letting this mudra and this moment in time in your day be really about anchoring, grounding, settling. So we'll hold this mudra for a couple more breaths, visualizing the tree, breathing in the qualities of stability, anchoring, groundedness, centeredness, supportiveness, so feeling supported by even each other here in our virtual gathering of this moment, to do some movement and breathing together. Just feeling the eyelids rest against the eyes. We'll take 2 more breaths with prana mudra. And then we're just going to take the hands to cover the eyes. It's called palming. So just placing the hands on top of the eyes to make a seal. And you can have the fingers crossed on top of each other too, but just completely sealing off all light and all visual stimulation, and just feeling the weight of the hands, the pressure, the darkness, the quieting of the eyes. And with the lips closed, we're just going to circle the tongue around inside the lips. So circle, a big circle inside the lips with the tongue. We can go in one direction and then reverse and go in the other direction. And just back and forth. And we can just do some, what I call horse lips, which is just some making your lips really soft and vibrating them, softening, tension of the jaw, lips, face. Makes your nose tickle. And then we'll just do some circles or figure eights around the eyes with the fingertips. So I use the first two fingers and just light circles around the eyes, tandem figure eights. And then just self-massage your skull, your scalp, your temples, your jaw. You can grab different places on the ears and just circle. And then I'm just gonna close with a little, I used to do this a lot. I just would have everybody in class say one word that they wanted to offer out, a theme or an energy or a blessing. It could be, you know, safety or gentleness or compassion or health. It could be anything. I'm wondering if I can I unmute you? Oh yeah. Maybe. I think y'all have to unmute yourself. I don't think I can unmute you. So, and it might become echoey, but if you want to offer a little word of blessing or theme, or you can just take a nap and not do that. Jim, you look really comfortable. I don't want to make you get up. Lydia's totally out. She's fallen asleep in her chair. All right, so we're just gonna let's sit together. Yeah, so just call out. Just sit with one hand on your heart and one on your belly. I heard peace. Thank you. Somebody said that.
Trust.
Gratitude.
Compassion.
Connection.
Yeah.
Friendship.
health.
There you are, Madison. If you want to say something, Madison, just unmute yourself. Click on your little microphone.
Thank
Hi,
you.
Wendy.
That was lovely.
Oh, thank you for being here. Now I get to see your face. Hi, Wendy. So we're just going to close with an Om and a Namaste, and then if anyone wants to stay, hi, you got a haircut. If anyone wants to stay and chat for a few moments, I'll hang out. All right, so we're just going to choose your own quality or energy that you'd like to bring into your day or your afternoon or your nighttime or your body, and just invite that in, that theme for yourself. Invite that in on the sound of Om, and when you Om, just notice the resonance and the vibration throughout your whole body. So breathing in, one Om. Om Shanti, peace. Thank you, everybody. Namaste, everybody.
Thank you.
I hear this is a global greeting now. I hope that you all have a wonderful afternoon. I wonder if I can.
Thank you so much, Erin.
Thank you. It's so good to see you.
So good to see you. I'm so relaxed now. That was exactly.
You look better.
Oh yeah, I really needed that. That was such a
Good.
wonderful practice.
Good. It's so nice to not to sometimes be led by someone else.
Oh my gosh. Well, yeah, and someone who, like you.
Thank you. So this is so heartwarming. I didn't feel like prepared at all, but I was like, I'm just going to do this because we need it now.
Yeah, it was perfect. Just what I needed.
Good. Thank you.
Thank you, Erin.
Thank you, everybody. Good to see you. Sending love and health.
Bye.
And toilet paper.
Yes.
We'll be learning how to make toilet paper out of moss.
Thank you.
Stay tuned for that tutorial. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.